Hey, good evening, Facebook world. It is good to be back. Hopefully, this is actually going to work because, yeah, as we know, it's been a little crazy here on Facebook. Nobody's been able to post. Nobody's been able to talk to each other. It's been, kind of a nutty night. What did we do before Facebook came along? I really am not quite sure. But it's good to be back. It's good to be able to post and chat with my friends and, whatever. But I had an awfully productive afternoon. But I wanted to come on tonight. I know I've been talking about sleep all week, but I wanted to come on tonight. Had planned to talk about sleep again, but I had a great conversation with a client and a good friend today about temptations and about temptations that she's struggling with. And I know that this is something that so many of us deal with, right? Temptation is a big thing, and it's really like, I always tell people that getting healthy is not about willpower. If we rely on willpower alone, we are in big trouble. We will lose every time if we are relying on willpower. So, hey, welcome, coming on in. Just give me some thumbs up and some likes if you're here, and hit hashtag live if you're in here so I can see who you are, because sometimes it doesn't tell me. But tonight I'm talking about how to deal with temptation, because it's a big thing. At least it's a big thing for me, right? I did not end up over 100 pounds overweight because I was able to control myself and live off of willpower. So what do we have to do when we are tempted by things? So here are some of the tools that I have in my toolbox for dealing with temptation. First of all, my number one thing is I try to remove that temptation from my life. That's the bottom thing. There are certain things in my life that I just know I can't say no to. Hey, Bill, you can resist anything except temptation. Exactly. So there are certain things in my world that I just know that I can't say no to. If they come in front of me, if they come to me, I don't care. It's really hard, right? Willpower doesn't work, right? If we rely on willpower, we are only going to last so long. Maybe we'll last 5 minutes. Maybe we'll last an hour. Maybe we'll last a day. Maybe we'll last 2 days or 6 weeks. But at some point, that willpower cuts out. So what do we have to do? We have to have some tools in our toolbox of how we're going to deal with those things. And so number one thing is you got to know why you're going for the goal that you're going for, right? Sheree, yours is chips and salsa. Mine is chips, mine is sweets. Chocolate, give me sweets, give me pretty much anything. I can be tempted into it. So first of all, our number one thing is we got to know why we're going after the goal that we're going for. When we know why, it makes it so much easier to, it doesn't become about the willpower, it becomes about that why. It becomes about that why power. And sometimes when I'm talking to a client, they're going to give me some big why. Oh, I want to be healthy. Oh, I want to live to see my, to be able to take care of my grandchildren. And, their oldest kid is 4 years old, right? And Bill, yours is nuts. So that's not a strong, it might be a strong why for some people, but that's not the why that when those foods are calling your name or those things are calling your name. Oh, you're welcome. So when those things are calling your name, that's not what's going to hold you back, right? Some far off grandchildren that you may have 20 some odd years from now, right? That's not what's going to keep you going. Why is, you have to have a why that is relevant to your life right now, right? A really strong why. That can be for some people. Some people it's health. Some people it's they want to get off medication. Some people, but I don't even find that to be a tremendously strong why, right? The stronger the why, it's the things that you're going to see results or that are going to play into your life right now, right? So I often tell people, do you have a pair of jeans hanging in your closet that you really want to fit into? A dress that you want to wear? A shirt? A something? That's going to be a much stronger why, right? I tell people all the time, hang it up where you can see it every day, where it's in your face, and try it on once a week, right? Watch that getting bigger. That's going to give you a tangible why that's right there, right in front of you, something that you're going to see, and you're going to see those results happening, and it's going to feel really good. And then when those things are calling your name, you're going to remember that that's up there and that you're going to be trying it on in a day or 2 days or 3 days or whenever you are trying it on again, and you want it to fit. And you're going to ask yourself, is this really worth it, right? So that's your number one first thing, is figuring out that why that is tangible right now. Bill, black leather pants, when you get into those black leather pants, I want you to take a picture because I want to see it. So having that why that's right there that can be within your grasp, not something far off, right? Small goals, right? A lot of times people will come to me and they'll have a lot of weight to lose, right? And so it seems so far off. So we're not going to talk in big numbers. We're going to go in small baby steps, small increments to getting yourself healthy. But okay, so that's great. You've got this why, this tangible why. Now, I'm telling you, if you're anything like me, and I hear it a lot, so I think some of you guys probably are, you can give me a shout out if you're like me. No matter how strong that why is, when that temptation, whatever those things are, Bill talked about his nuts, I'm with chocolate, cookies, chips, whatever those things, when it comes in front of your face and you're not staring at those jeans or that dress or those black leather pants, when you're not staring at those right then and there, those things are gonna win, right? They're still, I know when something's sitting in my cabinet and it just starts calling my name, I can hear it, the kitchen's right behind me, I can hear it. Lesley, come get me, right? So what do you do with that time? What do you do? How do you get past that? You could run upstairs. Well, for me, it's upstairs. That's where my room is. You can run wherever your stuff is and try it on and have a reminder of that. And that might help. But what do you do? So there's a lot of tactics. First of all, in my house, anything like that that's a temptation and it's a running joke in my house, that's not in my pantry anymore, okay? I give this stuff to my husband and I say, please hide this. My kids know this. Like I said, it's a running joke that this stuff. We made cookies on Sunday. I made cookies with my daughter, Hamantaschen, which are for the upcoming holiday of Purim. And right, they were filled with all kinds of goodies. And if they were around even when we stuck them in the freezer in the basement, I will still go open that freezer. They will call for me. They call really, really, really loudly. And so I will go find them. So I couldn't even do that. I had to tell my husband, please go hide them wherever he hides all the rest of the stuff. I don't know where it is. We've got a whole stash of stuff somewhere hidden in my house. We've got chocolate, we have marshmallows, we have graham crackers from our summer s'more stuff. We have chips. We have, I don't know. I have no idea what's even down there. Because I stay out of it. If it's hidden, I'm not going to go for it. So that's first of all, for me, I have to have it put away. If it's going to call my name, I have to have it put away. But there are some things that I'm not going to put away. So one of the things, and sometimes it's healthy foods that can call our names, and we can have, the wrong, too much of anything, even a healthy food, is a bad thing. So what else do we do if we don't want to hide everything? Because you can't hide my whole pantry. Well, some of what I do is when there are certain things that I buy specifically for my kids, I buy the individual packs of things, right? I buy, instead of a big bag of something, maybe a big bag of the kettle corn popcorn, which, I happen to love. Instead of that, where I can just go take it by the handfuls, I buy individual bags. And then what I will do with that is I will divvy it up for my kids and I will write their names on it. So they know exactly how many are there for them. I'm not going to eat it. I'm not going to take it from them. It's not mine anymore. It's bought for them. It's theirs. I'm not going to eat it. I'm not going to touch it, right? Whatever it is, if we divvy anything up, their names go on it so they know they have it and I know I have it. And I was actually talking to a client earlier who she can't pop in now. But I'm not, because she her phone was dying, but I messaged her and said, this is for you, my friend. But she has this thing with bananas, okay? One banana in a day is okay, right? But when you have a whole lot of bananas in a day, not a great choice. Bananas happen to be when you're talking about fruits, it's one of the highest in sugars. And usually a half a banana in a day is really a serving. And she has this thing, when she gets stressed out, she goes for bananas, right? Okay. And I said to her, get the bananas out of your house. Why do you even have them there, right? Things like that wouldn't come into my house anymore. And she said, well, my son likes them. And I said, okay. I said, so what you should do is take a Sharpie marker and write on each banana his name. Okay, he's 4, right? Show him. Look, your name is on the bananas, and there are however many are left, right? He'll know. He'll remember. And if those bananas go missing, I can guarantee to you he's going to ask about those bananas. So things like that. Find really practical, tangible ways to remove that temptation or to take it off so that it's no longer yours, right? I do that. Like I said, I don't buy a big package of cookies anymore, even though it's a little bit more expensive to buy them in individual packs. I'm going to buy them in individual packs and write my kids' names on them, or chips, or whatever it is, so that they know that that's theirs. They know exactly what's there, and I'm not going to touch it, right? With those Hamantaschen cookies that we made, right, on Sunday, so my kids knew before we put them away, we counted how many were there. So they knew if I went and had any, they were theirs. And I told them, these are your cookies, right? These are yours. I'm not going to have any. I don't want any. They're not on my plan right now, though they looked really good. They're not on my plan right now. So we counted them out. So they knew. So then when they brought them up, my husband brought them upstairs to put them in their lunches for school, they knew how many were there, and they were all that were supposed to be there were there. But I can guarantee to you, had we not counted them out, and had they not known how many were there, I promise you, I would have eaten some of them. Whether I would have eaten them all or not, I don't know. Probably not, because they would have known that they were all gone. But I probably would have eaten all but 3, and they would have each had one left. And I don't know what happened to the rest of the cookies, right? So, those are the kinds of things we want to talk practical. Really, really practical. Because, like I said in the beginning, if you are relying on willpower to get you through, it's not going to work. You will fail every single time. That food will win, or whatever it is that you're trying to hold out from will win every single time, unless you have a real plan. Unless you have a plan of action as to what you're going to do when it calls out to you and you know what to do, right? Because these are hard things, right? I've been at my healthy weight for 2.5 years, right? And I'm on my journey down to lose my last 20. Right, I'm about halfway there to losing my last 20, right? It's hard work. I've been doing this for 3 years. It's not any easier. The truth is, the first 75 that I lost were fairly easy to lose because my plan is goof-proof. My plan is easy to follow. It gives it to me, I follow it, but it's the part up here. It's the mental part. It's the mindset shift that is the hard part, and that's the thing that anyone who struggles with weight is going to battle for the rest of their lives. I will. I battle it every single day. But if I just leave it to battle up here, I'm going to fail. So that's where I have to come into the practical answers, which are, don't bring the things into my house. That's number one practical. Or if it comes into my house, portion it out right away and let somebody else know, or hide it, or those kinds of things, right? Because otherwise, I'm going to fail. Every time. Every time. I have failed many, many, many times in the last 3 years. And I learn from it each time. And I make mistakes, and I learn, and I grow from each time. The other thing that I do to really help me, the mindset piece, and to really help me stop and think, do I want this? Is it worth it? Right? Like I told you, I always recommend to people, keep that clothing upstairs. Keep something that is a tangible something, that will show you if you're going off track. But the other thing that I like to do is I keep a notebook. I keep a notebook by my bed, and I talk about this a lot with clients. And one of these days I'll show it to you guys, but my husband's sleeping upstairs, so I'm not going up to get it now. But I have a notebook by my bed, and it's actually gotten to become a very thick notebook that every single day before I go to bed, I sit down and I write down at least 3 wins of the day. 3 is a minimum. 3 wins of the day. Some days that's super easy. On the days that I'm flying through and I have a great day, it is so easy. But on some days, it's really, really hard. It's really hard to find those wins. But because I know that I'm going to do that every day, because I know I'm going to look for my wins every day, I start making choices during the day saying, I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z, or I will do X, Y, and Z, whatever it is, so that I can write it down in my wins notebook. And that's really, really empowering. So when some of those foods are calling my name, right, the Hamantaschen that I was talking about, I could write down in my wins, I didn't touch the Hamantaschen today, right? I could write that down. The day that we baked them, that was hard. I like raw cookie dough. I like all the fillings that we were putting inside of it when they came out of the oven and they were hot and they smelled good and whatever else. That was hard. Nobody was around. I'm the one who took them out of the oven. Nobody had counted them yet, right? But I knew in my head, I want to put down on my wins that I baked a batch of cookies and I didn't eat any, because that to me is a huge win, because usually I'll eat 1 or 2 or 3 or 5, or I don't even know how many, right? Please tell me I'm not alone in that. My daughter asks me all the time, why don't we bake cookies? We don't bake cookies because I can't control myself around them. But I was able to that day because I wanted to put it in my list of things that night as a win for the day. So my tips for you are, come up with some things that are really, really, really practical, right? Practical things that are going to stop you in your tracks when the things that you shouldn't be having are calling your name. Some of the things that I threw out here are just some of my ideas, but I would love to hear your ideas. You can throw them in the comments. You can private message me and give me some of the things that you do for your ideas. Because like I said, willpower doesn't work. It's all about the why power. It's all about knowing why you want whatever you want, and then setting the parameters and giving yourself the tools to make sure that you can hold to that, right? There's something that we call the willpower hangover, which happens to everybody, right? We're holding on to, we're relying on willpower, and we're so good, and we're so good, and we're so good for however long, and then all of a sudden we go, well, I was so good for this whole time, so I'm going to reward, it's okay now, I can have whatever, right? Who here has done that? Me, I don't know about any of you guys, but it's really common, actually. So I know, even though you guys aren't speaking up, I know it's common, because I talk to people about this all the time. And so that's why we need to have those tools. So like I said, I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know what some of your tools are. Let me know what some of the things that you like to do are, because I'm always coming up with new ideas. So this is a big one. Come up with your tools. What are you going to do? And that Sharpie marker on your packages of food, that is a big winner. Like I said, I told my client to do that on the bananas today because she was eating too many bananas. Sharpie marker and writing people's names. So I hope you guys have a great night. I hope some of these tips are helpful if you struggle with this. And like I said, I'd love to hear your tips. And if you watch this live, hit #live. And if you watch this in the replay, let me know that you're watching it in the replay and put in there #replay. So I hope you guys had a great day. I hope you're enjoying being back on Facebook as much as I am, but I got to get to bed soon because it's already 10 after 11 and I'm up really early and I got to get my healthy sleep. So have a great night. And if I owe you a recipe, if you have requested the recipe from the last 24 hours, 48 hours, whenever it was, I'm getting to them, but not having access to Facebook all day I am way behind. And I'm getting ready to post tonight's recipe, so I will be even further behind. So you're gonna have to give me a little bit of grace to get those out to you. But I hope you have a great night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.